Hello, everyone. Welcome to week 43 of the It Doesn't Matter podcast. And we've got myself, John, and we've got...
Bobby Platano, a.k.a. the Dominican Dream, baby.
There they are. And we've got...
I am the Notorious One. I am Dom. Boom.
Can never get that right.
You know, we think we would practice this beforehand. We practice other things, other irrelevant things. But what's relevant today is our main topic, our main review, ECW December To Dismember.
Ooh.
That's not relevant. It's not relevant.
Well, a little backstory to this show is that I kind of chose it a very long time ago because early on in the earlier weeks of the It Doesn't Matter podcast, I referenced this show and the fact that it was a terrible show and the fact that we have a lot of expressions here on the show. One of them is oof.
That's a big oof. This wasn't to me a big oof, though.
It was a big oof.
We'll get to that. But oof came from...
Hog Wild was worse.
Oof came from two people, someone I know in my other life, another John, if you will. And from Taz, who kept saying oof all during the show because there was nothing else to say or talk about during this show. And the guys, Abel and Dom, they hadn't seen the show.
We have. I must have jogged out of my mind because I don't remember much of this show at all.
With good reason. And so it was on our list, kind of like a long time ago. It was like, hey, I didn't see, at the time, I did not see the Roman Reigns and Logan Paul match at Super Showdown or Crown Jewel or something like that.
One of them.
So I'm in a deal with Dom, actually. Wasn't it you, Dom?
It was with me.
I watched that, and he had to watch Johnny Knoxville and Sami Zayn at WrestleMania, which is one of my favorite matches.
Hey,
so
Dom,
anyway.
have you said to us what you felt about that match yet?
What's that?
The Johnny Knoxville match yet?
Oh, Dom?
Oh, I did in one of the previous episodes. I enjoyed it. I definitely enjoyed it. It was a entertaining match. Sammy made Johnny look good, and all his other goons out there doing his damn thing. And it is what it is.
Did you watch Jackass in high school or whatever?
I did.
Yeah, I think everybody did.
You never know. I'm like, that to me, that really tickled my heart.
Yeah, I liked it, but at that time for WrestleMania, like, all right, you got to pick one match to go to the bathroom and go get your refreshments. I chose that match. I missed out on.
I tell you what. I mean, I intended to skip out on the Pat McAfee and Austin Theory match. And
I would not.
That would have been a huge mistake. And here's the big surprise: watching it back on Peacock, is that they kept the White Stripes theme song for Pat McAfee.
Nice.
The Seven Nation Army. I was blown away by that fact. I'm like, wow, they kept it. That was a big part of hyping everyone up for that match, amongst the other things going on with that.
Dun, 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 dun.
But then, when Pat McAfee made his later returns to WWE, they were diminishing returns is the terminology for that. But whatever, that's Pat McAfee. And that's Pat McAfee, but not ECW December To Dismember. We got off track a little bit, but that's how we got onto this show, and it is December, so that's why we just decided to watch this show. And we've got wild opinions up and down the card with this. So, Dom, let's get started with the pay-per-view.
All right, this show takes place in Augusta, Georgia. Guys, I never heard a show in Augusta, Georgia. In the James Brown Arena.
Hey.
We have Joey Styles and Taz on the announce team. Your first match, you got Eminem, who is Johnny Mercury, or Johnny Nitro, Melina, and Joey Mercury.
Easy for him to say.
Eminem going against Matt Hardy and Jeff Hardy, the Hardys. And it was a good opening match.
Yes.
I have a question for you guys.
Yeah.
Who had the better braids, Mercury or Jeff Hardy?
Oh, Mercury. At that time.
It was terrible. They were both terrible.
At this
that
time,
damn match.
Jeff Hardy just came back to the WWE at that time, so between him and Joey Mercury there, I mean, this was 2006. This was a
rough time.
Yeah.
A nutty time. Oh, God.
It was.
Because this was not the only December pay-per-view for WWE. There would be another one, Armageddon, and this is where Joey Mercury would get his face messed up big time, but that's not this show. No. So as for this show, Eminem, I mean, they were still a hot act at the time, especially with Melina in there, and them going up against the Hardy Boys. Yeah, that's pure ECW right there. They're just juicing up the show. There they are. I mean, not to say anything about the work of the match. The work was fine.
Yes.
But not ECW. But that's okay, because everyone's focused on the main event. They sold the show based on the main event, and that is still to come.
Now, this is during their relaunch of the new WWE ECW.
Yep.
CW.
It was terrible. Why did Melina scream so much?
I mean,
that whole damn match.
If you had enough Blue Chew, she'd be screaming for you too. Heyo!
Because Mercury didn't need no Blue Chew.
Batista
Or Nitro didn't need no Blue Chew. Whichever one's which. Johnny Thunder, Johnny Dynamite, whatever the fuck his name is.
Johnny, whatever company I'm in.
Shoot.
It's Johnny Nitro. Guys.
You think Batista used the Blue Chew?
No.
Blue Tista. Blue Chusta.
All right, but
a fine opening match.
He gave her a knock in her cabin.
It was okay.
Nothing ECW.
It was nothing extreme whatsoever. Matt Hardy hit a double cutter off the top rope. Jeff with the swanton. Hardy's with the win. It was a good opening match. That's all it was.
Yeah.
And then after this, backstage, you see RVD saying he's going to walk out the new ECW champion in Elimination Chamber. The Extreme Elimination Chamber.
What a year for RVD.
Oof.
So your next match, which screams ECW, you have Matt Striker. You know what's hardcore about Matt Striker? He quit his job as a teacher but could be an ECW competitor. That's what he did. That's extreme right there. To go against Balls Mahoney in a Matt Striker's rule match, which means you can't curse. I forgot the other rules. Like you can't no face shots or something like that.
You can't pull hair. You can't jump off the top ropes.
Can't have
you
talent.
Can't use eye gouge.
Can't be entertaining.
That too.
It was terrible. It was entertaining because Matt Striker had his face on his ass.
Like Rick Rude, but not.
Not really.
I forgot what Joey Styles said. I think he said he always wanted to sit on his own face. Some shit like that.
No, he said he's the first guy that actually wants to sit on his own face.
Yeah, some shit like that.
Marilyn Manson, he is not.
Yeah.
No, but the match is terrible. Nothing special whatsoever. Balls Mahoney, he won the match with a sky high, which is like the D'Lo Brown.
I think he called that the New Year's Eve ball drop.
Oh, jeez.
No, he didn't.
Any thoughts on that match?
Surprisingly, how weak the crowd reaction was for Balls because he's an ECW original. I'm just like,
I don't think Atlanta had, or I don't think Augusta, Georgia had ECW. Cable television.
Well, I mean, ECW, they would have little pockets of TV in little markets, so it would be possible that they'd be in Augusta, Georgia.
Channel 3, turn the tube.
At 1 a.m. on a Sunday morning, technically.
I know, but just still, like, when you hear anybody from ECW, like the originals, in that crowd reaction, you're just like,
I've heard of Rome, Georgia.
Yeah.
I heard of Rome. I heard of Augusta.
Yeah. I heard of Decatur, Georgia.
Decatur.
Atlanta.
That's a shout out to old Mitch Silver. You know, he was just reading something. He's like, Decatur. It's like, what the fuck? What? Like, Decatur. It says it right there. Like, that's Decatur, you fool.
Oh, man, my Dominican primo. Take it easy, man. Take it easy.
Well, he hasn't had food in like 6 days. So.
Oh, Jesus.
How's that fasting going, bud?
Fuck that.
All right.
First one.
Yep, there we go.
Second one.
All right, so after this, we see CM Punk backstage warming up. Then we see another backstage segment. We see Sabu taking out, and Paul Heyman's pissed off, and the fans are chanting bullshit.
Now, was this after he and, I think, was it RVD, or got caught smoking and driving, or?
Yeah, it was a very long time after. That happened right around the summertime, right when RVD was still the WWE and ECW champion.
Yep.
And ECW champion. And what was kind of weird about that is that Sabu, they still did what they did. They had RVD drop the title immediately, right? Yep. And they moved on to an Edge and John Cena program. But what about Sabu? He was part of that too, but he wasn't a champion, and they kept him kept pushing him until SummerSlam and John Cena and Sabu at SummerSlam.
RVD was drawing money. That's
what. What? That doesn't even sound right.
So why did they take Sabu? I forget there was a reason for it, but to the fans, it's like, you're taking Sabu out? I'm like, what the hell?
Yeah.
I wanted to see him in the chamber.
Exactly. I would have loved to see him in the chamber too.
You know, probably Vince was all over the show. He's just like, I don't see money in him. I see money in Test, or who would be revealed as his replacement.
Hardcore Holly. His name says Hardcore, goddammit. Put him in the ring.
What's this Sabu? Is it a frozen
ECW.
treat? So Sabu was taken out backstage. Paul Heyman is losing his mind.
That's it. All right, so your next match, you have Elijah Burke with Sylvester Turkey going against the FBI of Lil Guido and Tony Mamaluke with Trinity.
Trinity.
Guys.
Not the Trinity I want.
I know.
This match was terrible, man. This is a glorified live event right here.
Dom is shaking his head more now than D'Lo ever did in 1997. And I think you better recognize that.
Yo, but Elijah Burke, he had I'll say a decent career, because after this he went to TNA and he was the Pope.
Yes.
The Pope was
he found religion.
And he was in was it NWA?
It was TNA NWA.
Yeah, he's in,
But he was NWA.
Yeah, NWA.
He had a big push in TNA. It was at the I think it was Against All Odds. It was in the February one. It's pay-per-view they had. It was the one that took place in Vegas, and he won like the Against All Odds match and made him the #1 contender. He had a very nice little push for a while.
Did he ever become champion down there at one point?
No.
He won the championship in NWA, I want to say.
Okay.
Probably. I did meet him at during one of those tremendous TNA for whatever they were. I met him at a backstage event and live show, but backstage meet and greet, and he was playing it cool. He acted like he was like the biggest. He acted like he was the tribal chief that night, the Pope. But yeah, he's cool. He's nice.
I agree.
So there you go.
I met him at a TNA live event, and I was like, "Hey, Pope, can I get your autograph?" He said, "Turn the page. The Pope don't turn pages," or something like that. You know, he spoke in third person, so it was pretty cool. So
Pope is pimping.
Pope is pimping. But all right, and Sylvester Turkey, John, you know who that is?
Nope.
He was in the Kurt Angle documentary on Peacock. If you watch it, he went against Kurt Angle back in the day.
Really?
That's how he got a job. He had legitimate credentials, and they tried to push him as the supreme fighting machine of 2006, but it just did not work. This guy looked like Brody Lee, but wrestled like Jane. I don't know.
Oh, what the?
Yeah, he was a top amateur wrestler, and
I showed you what that meant. How about Alex the Pug Porto? He was a wrestler of the highest magnitude.
This is around the time when WWE was picking up all those guys that were like 6'5", 300, or
the Johnny Aces.
Yeah, the Johnny Aces, the same size, same build. It's like I've said before, if you have everybody who's 7 feet tall, no one's different. Like, it's all the same shit.
Well, he did look different. I'll give you that.
he had the big grizzled beard, and
Somebody else looked like them, like later on in the night. But I can't.
he looked like Mike Knox.
Exactly.
That's all it was. But for some reason, I don't know why this tag team didn't go further, because you got the Pope, who is pretty good at talking and in ring ability. And you got your muscle. You got Sylvester Turkey. So what happened, John?
That's just how WWE was back then. But it created an environment where, you know, as a fan at that time, I was cheering the underdog. I was cheering the underdog guys on SmackDown, the London and Kendricks and you know, Tajiri and Akio, and I was cheering for those guys, the cruiserweights, really. Jamie Noble, and then you had these big lunkheads like Sylvester Turkey, even though he had credentials, you know, or the reflection of perfection, Mark Jindrak, you know, guys like that. And no, it was not a pleasure to watch these guys on SmackDown. It was not fun. I did not want to see the Basham brothers. No, thank you. This is just the time it was in WWE, you know. 2005 was the hot year. You know, 2006, you know, an important year for other reasons, but most of that was in the beginning of the year, and toward the latter half of the year, everyone went on vacation.
Basically.
The booking team went on vacation, so not a lot of good stuff during this time.
No, definitely not.
You'd think after RVD, once he had that issue, that's when shit went to literally.
It really did. It really did. It's all his fault. And, you know, you can blame, like, you know, Rob Van Dam earlier in his WWE career. Oh, that feud with Triple H for the title in 2002, you know. It's like, oh, I should have won the title then. No, he didn't. 2003 he was still pretty hot. 2004, they stuck him with the Rey Mysterio and moved him to SmackDown. It's like, he should be one of the top singles guys. He's not.
Yeah.
They gave it to Rene Dupree, you know, and Kenzo Suzuki. And then 2005, you know, he got hurt, but he actually they finally gave him a DVD. I saw it at Walmart. I just saw it, and there was no hype, there's no promo. I just saw it on the aisle. I'm like, that's a Rob Van Dam DVD.
Yeah.
Pretty big deal at the time. So I bought it, and of course he was injured at the time. So since he was injured, they didn't promote it.
So the one of a kind.
Yeah, the green. Yeah,
Yep.
Yeah.
So
I think I had that one before.
yeah, he didn't promote. They didn't promote it. They just released it because he was injured. Then he cut this passionate promo at the 2005 One Night Stand.
I remember that one.
Vince saw that. He's like, "Why don't you talk like that all the time?" It's like, "You don't give me a chance, man." Otto.
Hey, whatever.
Hey, whatever. So 2006 was his big year, and he messed it up, kind of like Jack Swagger messed himself up many years later, doing almost the same thing by himself.
Terrible.
All right, so let's get back to this match against the FBI. Elijah Burke, he hit the stroke, which is Jeff Jarrett's move, which they called it the Elijah Experience for the win. And Turkey, after the match, hit a muscle buster.
Yeah, Turkey will put you to sleep.
The show will put you to sleep.
Oof.
All right, so we go backstage. We see Sabu getting stretchered out. Your next match, you have Daivari coming out with the Great Khali going against the ECW original, the hardcore legend, icon, whatever the fuck you want to call him, Tommy Dreamer.
Who's still wrestling to this day.
And this is another match I did not have interest for. The only thing about this whole thing was I was impressed with seeing Khali, because at this time, the Great Khali just came from The Longest Yard. Remember that movie? With Burt Reynolds.
See,
and
he was in that movie, yeah.
Chris
and
Rock. Yep.
They're like, "Oh, there's this wrestler guy that's in it," and I'm like, "Who?"
Yeah.
And like he didn't. And, like, he looked like Rhino to me in the movie. He didn't look like a freaking tall. I mean, in WWE, in real life, he's a real tall freaking monster. In The Longest Yard, you first saw him sitting on the bench.
Yep.
Sitting, crouching. He did not look like a freak show, So he's in The Longest Yard. I'm like, no, he sure didn't seem like it. Although The Longest Yard was a fun movie.
I'll play.
He's leaving the field. Shoot him. Hey, he's just grabbing the ball. Stupid.
All right, but this match didn't do nothing for me either.
Oh, my God.
And Dreamer, at this time, Dreamer looked washed. He looked washed up at this time, man. He was like just going through the motions, just to me. But I don't know. I did enjoy how Khali just pulled the rope down and Dreamer flipped over the rope. Like Khali just did that shit like no problem. Usually guys have to like lean on the top rope. Like nah, he just.
That's something that he probably stole from Andre. If I remember correctly, years ago, Andre used to do that. If he would be standing outside with somebody from the Heenan family, something rare you don't see, because not too many guys are 7 feet. What, 7'5"? Is he at the time? Or 7'4"?
Yeah, you can't teach that.
You really can't.
Stand there, put your arms up, pull. There you go.
I mean, still, but
Tumble down.
there's not too many guys that are that tall that can do that.
Him and Big Show always had heat with each other.
Really?
Because Great Khali would always steal Big Show's move, and Big Show would be like, "Hey man, that's my move," and Big Khali would be like, "I don't care."
Yeah, because Big Show didn't have that Andre presence where, me no like you. I'm only giant here.
His English sucks.
Yep. Both of them.
All of them.
All right, but the finish of the match, Daivari won with a roll up, clean against Tommy Dreamer. What the
Well,
hell?
he was pulling tights, but still.
It looked clean to me.
His ties are clean. Good for him. He uses Persil.
It was nothing special, man. Like I said, it was just a glorified house show for ECW.
Now, was that just like an open challenge to anybody in the backstage? Because I don't get the point of that.
This show had no hype. This show had no build-up. This show was a one-match show, the Extreme Elimination Chamber. That's it. So they had to make up the rest of the card. And I remember at this time in my life, I was with my DJ crew, and we all watched the pay-per-views together, and we just finished like Survivor Series or whatever. And that's when, one person had pay-per-view, one person spent the $60, and you had 10 people in the house.
Yep.
You know what I mean? So, the ad came up for this show, and I was like, "Hey, we're going to get this one, guys?" And everyone's just like, "Come on, it's a WWE production. It should be all right."
Nah.
In retrospect, thank goodness. Holy crap.
All right, so after this, we see Paul Heyman backstage talking to Hardcore Holly, and he announces that he is going to be a replacement for Sabu.
I like Hardcore Holly, as evidenced by a previous episode where he faced William Regal at the Survivor Series 2000. But
All
here,
hype and then down.
I like Holly.
What is it?
He was hardcore.
I also like boats and planes.
Boats
Exactly.
and
You hear that too, right?
Anyway.
All right. So after this, you see Mike Knox
Oh yeah.
and his tag team partner, his girlfriend Kelly Kelly, going against Kevin Thorne and Ariel. Oof. ECW has some nice women.
Yes.
Oof.
I love Ariel. I love her.
Ariel, Shelly Martinez, yeah, she was beautiful.
I like hanging out with her for breakfast. She got pancakes.
Really?
Yeah.
All right, so Kelly Kelly, she takes the microphone, like hiding the microphone from
Where?
Mike Knox, and she just wanted to wish CM Punk good luck in the chamber. And Mike Knox like, what the fuck? Bitch, I'll kill you. Like, what you doing?
I would just be like, I'm done.
Mike Knoxwa.
Well, later, in a different podcast, we actually found out that CM Punk was the real Divas champion.
Yeah, he was a chick magnet.
Yeah, I'm right. If you want to know what that means, listen to Bruce.
CM Punk got around. He did Kelly Kelly, Lita,
Beth.
God.
Yep.
Oh my goodness. And they ended up with
AJ Lee.
Styles.
all right.
All right, but this is another match I wasn't interested in. I wasn't. But the only thing I did like Ariel stretching in the corner to Kelly Kelly.
Yes.
You know what? As I recall, like Ariel was the only. Okay, every match, every segment up to this point, trash.
I agree.
Garbage. Ariel, to this point in the show, was the only one giving an effort.
Yes.
Only one giving an effort. So, Ariel, good for you. Unfortunately, for the rest of your career, you disappeared into the ether. But I give you props. You were the only one trying on this show.
She was trying.
Up to this point.
Hopefully Kevin Thorne was trying after that match.
Mordecai.
Did you see that elbow drop she did when she was shaking? Yeah, that's. I perked up.
Like Kurt Angle.
Oh,
jeez.
I mean, Mike Knox. I actually like Mike Knox. I liked his music. It was very basic, but I liked it. And Kelly
Kelly
Clarkson, the big tub of butter. No, Kelly. She's so nice. They named her twice.
Damn right.
Kelly, the sky blue of that time frame.
Not even close to Sky Blue. What are you talking about?
Someone young and someone.
Okay.
Even at that time, people say you shouldn't look at her. I'm like, at that time, I was 5 years older than her.
You realize one thing though. Kelly is younger than Charlotte Flair right now.
Good.
Man.
She has been on TV since 2006. And
Who? Kelly is younger than Charlotte Flair?
Kelly is younger than Charlotte Flair.
All right.
And
I'm saying, in real life right now, Kelly is younger than Charlotte.
So what he's trying to say is...
She got into business pretty young. I'm just like,
Yeah, she was 19.
what the fuck?
Yeah.
Like, I didn't even realize that.
Charlotte probably got into the business at 26.
Rey Mysterio at 14.
Oh, that don't count. That's just illegal.
Paige got into the ring
Yeah.
at 13. And someone got into her at 12.
Oh, jeez.
Hey,
Hey,
Merry
all right,
Christmas, y'all.
John. After Mike Knox went to TNA, what happened to
Please
him?
not be done. Mike Knox. He went to TNA. He was more notable for being part of the Aces and Eights. Aces and Eights. Dead Man's Hand. And
What was his name?
Nux. He was Nux. I got a picture of him at Slammiversary. Him and Doc Gallows, Big LG. They were the big man tag team of the time. But yeah, Mike Knox became Nux. Pretty cool.
Where's Gallows been at lately?
He's hurt.
Is he hurt?
Yeah.
Well, then you just use him on SmackDown. That's all.
Like Carl Anderson was free. He did like a couple bits, and then like, where the hell's AJ Styles been?
I think he's been hurt too. Right?
I guess.
Again, he was hurt and he came back.
This might still his Xbox.
No, he forgot it. I'm not playing one time.
Oh, so sad.
Dummy.
What
Yeah.
happened to Mordecai? Kevin Thorne. What happened to him?
I think he had a brief comeback that he tried to repackage him, but he just disappeared. And
I think after that whole was it going against Kane or Undertaker,
Yep.
and it just went.
he had cool music too, but his career just went nowhere.
Oh man.
Oh well.
Anyway, shout out to the cameraman for this match for showing Ariel. Because
My God,
Damn right.
the aerial assassin.
yes, he was on point.
Her too.
Produced by Kevin Dunn.
Oh, shit, we didn't even get in the match. Oh, so, anyways,
We did.
back to the match. Ariel and Kevin Thorne got the win. Mike Knox walked away from Kelly Kelly. She tried to tag him, and he wasn't having it. That was it. So after the match, the Sandman's fake WWE music came on.
Yep.
Came through the crowd.
It was his real music.
Yeah.
The Sandman.
Well, they didn't.
Metallica.
That sounds nothing close to it.
No.
Not a thing. Still liked it
though. Anyways, he comes out with a kendo stick and he lights his ass up. Kevin Thorne's ass up like Barry Bonds, man. He was swinging for the fences, man. Thorne runs up the stage and he's still going up there. Bang, 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 swinging. That's a good ECW moment right there. Sandman did what he had to do. Pop a couple beers. He was bloodied.
He was in shape.
Yeah. No, the first time.
Yeah.
I mean, they didn't trust him to have a match, but they trusted him to do this. So there you go.
Drinking light beer.
You still think he has one of the best entrances of all time? Well, definitely ECW for sure, but
Of course. Definitely.
all time for like all wrestlers? No. Okay.
No, it's a very legendary entrance, but you take it as a product of its time. But if you take it as a product of today, well, who knows?
That's true.
All right. So after this, we see another backstage segment. We see Rebecca interviewing Lashley. Who's Rebecca?
Who is Rebecca?
She was hot.
Rebecca. What she look like?
Brown hair. Chick. Diva search. I don't know.
Rebecca.
She was hot. You gotta look her up.
Okay.
Anyways, Lashley just hyped himself up for the chamber.
Do you have eyebrows still?
He did.
Or?
He had eyebrows at this time. I did write that in my notes.
Don't remember much about Rebecca, but Bobby Lashley had eyebrows.
He had eyebrows at the time. All right, but it was a nice video package after this to hype up the Elimination Chamber. Then Paul Heyman comes out with his security. Now we're into your main event, guys. This is the marquee of the show right here. You have Big Show as your ECW champion, who is a WWEF veteran. That's your WWE guy. You have the guy who's from the underground that, people wanted to win. Paul Heyman wanted this guy to win. But, Vince McMahon does what he want to do. You have CM Punk. You have another Vince McMahon guy who changed his whole body. He looked much better, and I like this version right here. RIP him right now. Test.
Yep.
You had Hardcore Holly, who, became hardcore, and he's a badass right now.
He's been hardcore.
Yeah. And you got the whole fucking show, Rob Van Dam, and you have Bobby Lashley, who's another Vince McMahon guy.
Yes.
So out of all the names, if you guys did not watch the show, who do you think won that match?
Bobby Lashley.
Well, the fans would want RVD to win it again. You know, Big Show. I mean, the champion retaining can always be a possibility, but then you had Test in there. Probably not. Lashley was in there, and the fans didn't turn on him yet. He wasn't over. He became over pushed after this match was over, but they didn't hate him yet. And who else was in there?
CM Punk.
CM Punk. Well, it's too early for CM Punk.
I had no faith that they were going to put the belt on him at all.
But they put to make this an Extreme Elimination Chamber. They put weapons all over the
They put gimmicks.
Gimmicks along the walls and things like that. And
honestly, I thought I didn't even know who won this match until I watched the show. I literally thought it was going to be either RVD or Lashley. That's why. I remember Lashley had a title. I remember his little ECW run with that. But I thought Test had a good chance because Test came back. He looked amazing. He had the pimples on his back and all of that.
He saw Benoit and Eddie backstage. He's like, "I'll have what you're having," and he did.
No, just looking at that little promo that they were sending out to with him getting screwed over by Paul Heyman and all that. I'm just like, it's so obvious. It's right there. This is around the time when you start becoming a regular fan to a smart fan, and you start paying attention to the little details, and you're like, you kind of know where they're going now. So I was like, it's Bobby right there. There you go.
All right, so your first entrance is Hardcore Holly and RVD, and it was a good start, but that Rolling Thunder RVD did over the top rope onto the steel, that shit was amazing. Oof. That shit was dope. That's the RVD that we like. We like to see him get high like that.
Oh, man.
And after that, CM Punk comes in, he takes out RVD, and Punk throws the chair to RVD. RVD catches it and threw that shit right back at CM Punk and laid his ass out.
Yep. Stupid.
Oh my goodness! But I did like how he. What was it? What was the sequence? He tried to hit him. What was it, like a dragon whip or something like that? But CM Punk like leg dropped him onto the chair. Like all that shit was like a dope sequence. I can't remember what it was exactly. But
I wouldn't trust the Big Show and Lashley to do that.
Absolutely not.
Hell no. But after this, Test comes out with the crowbar and he just goes crazy. He's gauging out the crowbar in RVD's forehead. He's choking out CM Punk. And yeah. After this, Punk was the first one eliminated by that frog splash by RVD. 5-star frog splash by RVD.
At one point, I would say he had the best frog splash other than Eddie, but
Nah, he had it better than Eddie.
somebody's got a better frog splash now.
He's the only one doing it.
Montez.
There can be only one.
That's it.
Street Profit.
All right, so Punk get eliminated, and Test hit the big boot to Hardcore Holly, and the ref just like stopped counting that too. But Holly got eliminated. I'm like,
yeah, they fucked up right there.
What the hell happened? He's like, you gotta go, you gotta go.
I'm like, nah, bro.
Another one on the Taz oof scale.
I agree. They're like, hey, he only counted 2. He's not eliminated. I'm like, uh-oh.
Yep. So all right, so now you got
Vince is on the call. Shut up, damn it.
all right, so you got RVD and you got Test in the ring. So RVD climbs on top of Big Show's cell, and Show grabs RVD's leg, and Test hits RVD with multiple chair shots.
Yep.
Yo, Test went on top of the cell and hit him with that elbow. Big man shouldn't be flying like that, but he did. That should look good. That should look real good. 1, 2, 3. RVD's eliminated. Oh shit, here we go.
Yep.
3 people left. You have Test, you have Lashley, and Big Show.
See, Vince wanted you to think, oh, it's 3-on-1, 3 heels on 1 face, and all the fans would see like, our favorites are gone.
Yep.
Yep. So Lashley's in, and Paul Heyman's security.
Oh man.
They lock Lashley inside the cell
It was
chamber.
it was a little creative what happened in the next sequence with the whole table.
Yeah.
I've never seen that before.
We've never seen Extreme Elimination Chamber.
Well,
That's
that
the only
too.
one.
But I'm
yeah,
just
Bobby Lashley took the gimmick table and he banged the damn chains and he just climbed right out the damn cell or chamber and he just went ham. He went ham on Test. That's what it was. And he hit him with a spear. 1, 2, 3. Test is eliminated. So now we got like maybe like a minute and a half left till Big Show gets in the ring.
Till the pay-per-view was over.
Big Show comes out with that barbed wire baseball bat, and he's swinging for the fences, and Lashley's holding a chair trying to protect himself. But Lashley got to him. Long story short, speared him into the pod. Pod broke. Hit him with another spear while he's all bloodied. 1, 2, 3. Your new ECW champion, Bobby Lashley.
still not the best spear into the pod. Dom's favorite, Goldberg, which was just sick. That was
It's like,
just.
if you're not going through the pod, I'll make you go through the pod.
Sheesh.
Damn right.
That was nasty.
But you know what's nasty? This terrible ass show. This show sucks.
Did you pay? I mean, like, based off how we started to watch the show, did you notice Taz being oofy all night?
Oh
Yeah.
yeah. He just was done. He was like,
He tried, man.
He tried. You
He
tried.
tried.
Try to make chicken salad, chicken shit. He tried. Or
Nah.
chicken shit, chicken salad. However the thing
I'll
goes.
tell you which
Yeah.
one I'm eating.
he tried to make chicken salad out of chicken shit. I don't even think JR and King could have saved this.
Yeah, oof.
And it went under time.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It was like 2:36.
yeah, yo.
I mean, yeah, granted, they always go 2:50, 2:48. No, this is like 2:24.
It seemed like, was Vince even in part of like the production of this?
Yeah, that's the
Yeah.
problem.
Oh, he probably just
Yeah,
said,
that's his
"Fuck
version
this
of ECW.
God damn it,
This-
turn it off.
This led to Paul Heyman leaving
Yeah,
because Paul Heyman he was like, "You ruined the one. You gave me one job, and you didn't let me do it. And
Yeah.
look what happened. You know." But part of that is Vince. He wanted this to fail. He didn't want this to succeed.
Yeah, I've heard so many stories where Vince is like, "See, guys, I told you it would fail." It's like, you're not giving me a chance to fucking succeed, dude. Like, you already you already got the idea where it's not gonna work, and then you just force it onto somebody where it's not gonna work.
out of all this, who was made through this show, you had Johnny Nitro. Yeah, CM Punk. You could say the Pope, maybe.
He became some
Kali,
decent.
yeah.
He's a 7-footer. How the hell are you gonna fuck that up? Well,
Easy. Go to WCW.
John Gonzalez.
There you go. But yeah, everybody else was pretty much established for the most part. This
was Lashley already established at the time?
He was on his way up there. Lashley came in 2005.
Okay.
So yeah, he was already in the game
already.
So early 2005.
Especially,
or maybe 04. I want to say late 04.
Especially looking like that. That's a Vince McMahon fucking guy right there. He's like, yeah, that's my guy. I'm gonna put the championship on him.
It's hard to remember a time when Lashley was not utilized to his full potential. It's hard to remember. No, hold on. You don't remember. You don't remember a time when we were like, please give him the WWE title.
Yeah.
He's a 2-time WWE champion. He beat Brock Lesnar for one of them, okay? Mm-hmm. But, that's him now. Thank goodness. He looked like the guy he needed to be WWE champion. He deserved to be WWE champion.
Still has it.
But remember a time when he had none of those things, and we were just like, what the big deal? If Lashley's like your big freaking destroyer, why aren't you treating him like it?
Exactly.
So there was a time for that. Yes, he was overpushed at a certain given point. But then when he had a second run in WWE, he was getting pushed, but not where he should have been. Eventually, he was. I'm not saying don't look up Bobby Lashley's best title defenses because you're not gonna find any.
Hey, Abel, do the Lashley interview.
Which
Him
one?
and Leo Rush. We bent over Lashley, grabbing his ass cheeks.
I forgot about that. I forgot about that one. What the fuck?
And Max Caster was his sister.
What?
Exactly.
What?
You remember that shit on Raw? Lashley's sister appeared on Raw.
Oh yeah, he came out.
Max Caster.
He had a couple of females.
There's things I didn't watch.
Max Caster was one of the female.
Yeah, Max Caster was Lashley's sister.
Wow. That's funny. Just
Google it.
I love Max, man. That dude is so entertaining.
Oh man.
Not a pay-per-view we recommend to rewatch, but so Dom, out of all the matches we saw for this, what would you recommend to watch?
The main event. The only one that was advertised. I really thought back in the day, even when the network came out, I thought, oh shit, we only had one match for this show. I'm like, because they didn't talk about no undercard.
I mean, was the network out already, or we were just like in?
No, it wasn't out yet, but when it came out, and I was like, oh, I could rewatch all these shows. I'm really thinking, like, what matches? The only match you ever heard about was the Extreme Elimination Chamber match. So you never knew your Intercontinental Champion was on that show.
Yeah,
in the opening match.
I would dare say I would throw out. Check out the main event. It's for however it was booked. It was still an entertaining match.
Yep.
I would also suggest check out that mixed tag team match with Mike Nux and Kelly versus
Ariel,
and who are the other guys?
Kevin Thorne.
Doesn't matter.
Yeah, Ariel.
Because just to watch, because every dog has its day. Every person has its moment. So just check this out. Check this match out, and you will find Ariel's only shining moment in the world of professional wrestling. Although she was in TNA, part of LAX for a time.
Really?
So there was that.
Mm-hmm.
But as for Ariel in WWE, this is her only shining moment, and I thought she did a standout job.
Yes, she did.
Compared to anything else on the show.
I agree.
So
check
out that, and check out the Elimination Chamber match. So there you go.
And if you want to see a tag team match, you can watch the Hardy Boys and Eminem.
If you choose any Hardy Boys match, you can't. I just said it right there. You can choose any Hardy Boys match, and
you really can't go wrong.
If you just want to watch, sometimes I do that. I go on the network, even though the network on Peacock is kind of hard to search for things that you want to watch.
It's not the same anymore.
Let me watch a Bret Hart match that wasn't on pay-per-view. Let me watch him on Superstars wrestling Skinner, or let me watch him on Raw facing Doink the Clown, because that wasn't a major feud. He had major feuds with Diesel and Owen and Shawn and whomever, but it's like, how about those little matches?
You know? I remember for some reason now you mentioned that Bret versus Goldust on a Raw.
Yeah,
it was champion versus champion. I'm just like, it's gonna be interesting, I guess.
Bret Hart was the first person to make him tap out. Goldust.
Really?
Yeah, and this happened on Raw. It's like Goldust was undefeated at the time, and then like Bret Hart, he faced Bret Hart, and Bret Hart put in the sharpshooter, he tapped. I was like, wow, there goes that undefeated streak.
Marlena made him tap out, put that damn gag ball in his mouth, and
She also made him tap out when she served him divorce papers.
Ooh, ouch.
Oof, Taz.
No bueno.
American Nightmare.
Yeah, but this ECW December to Dismember pay-per-view, significant for many reasons. Significant for being a terrible show. Significant for being the last. ECW, they were gonna go on speaking about a house show. They were actually gonna do house show touring, and they actually had a house show scheduled for somewhere in Connecticut, not anywhere of note. I was gonna go, but then they canceled all the shows because they were like, no one's gonna pay for this shit. No one in Augusta, Georgia's gonna pay for it.
Fucking 4,600 people.
Wow.
I mean, that's dynamite.
Dynamite.
But let's
Collision.
how about the legacy of WWE ECW, because it would not go away until 2009 or 10.
9 or 10, one of those.
I think February
9. I want to say.
I think February 2010, because that's when the first season of NXT with Danielson and Wade Barrett, Ryback, all those guys. I think that was 2010.
That makes sense.
So the last ECW champion, another big black man, Ezekiel Jackson.
And he just disappeared. Well, from WWE.
Yeah. But you take some steps back, and it's like you want to do like a week, some other wrestling podcast out there of different notoriety. They like to cover weekly shows and things of that nature. And one of those things is ECW on Sci-Fi, ECW, WWE ECW, and they kind of lived in its own world. They had no respect from the main roster.
Nope.
Like, think about this: WrestleMania in the Citrus Bowl. Was it 2008? Cena, Triple H, and Randy Orton, right? Among others. And
Randall.
Taz and Joey Styles only had one match to call because they were the ECW announcers. They only had one match to call, and that match was Chavo Guerrero defending the ECW title against Kane in a less than 10-second squash.
WrestleMania.
That's the only match they had to call, and they got that.
That's fucked up.
I remember that.
That is fucked up.
All right, guys. So I'm looking on Wikipedia, that is, and they have top episodes, special episodes of ECW from Sci-Fi. If you want to watch,
Okay.
they got the first episode is WWE versus ECW, which is June 7th, 2006.
Okay.
They got the ECW premiere episode, which is June 13th, 2006.
with the zombie.
Yeah, I remember that.
And then Christmas, December 26th of 2006, you have the best of ECW.
The highlight show.
And then Christmas of next year, they have the best of
highlight
2007.
Yeah, the highlight show is going to show the highlights of the year, no doubt.
May 6th, 2008, they got
Highlights.
Nope, they got the 100th episode.
I can't believe they made it that far.
And December 23rd of 2008, the best of ECW. 2009, the best ECW. And February 16th, 2010, the final episode.
Jesus Christ.
Gee, I could have made up that list.
Yep.
Jeez. Do you guys have any memories of ECW on Sci-Fi? Anything like that? Or was that a time that you weren't...
I was not watching that. It was rough.
I mean, I can give you a little bit if you don't have.
I remember them watching the first episode. I was hyped. Next thing I seen this, I'm like, what the hell is going on? I seen a zombie out there, and
I like the promos. I like the little insets that they did, with CM Punk saying, introducing himself.
Yeah.
I'm straight edge. My only addiction is competition and tattoos and Pepsi and piercings, but nothing else. You know?
I can say one thing though. They did create a lot of guys that are still wrestling to this day, like Kofi, CM Punk, like you mentioned.
That was the later ECW where they're actually coming into their own, But yeah, like Kofi made his first appearance. Sheamus, Zack Ryder made his notoriety on that show.
Then now Matt Cardona,
Christian,
Christian
made his debut. That's how much Vince thought of Christian. You can come back on ECW.
I hate that beak.
And no, they were the NXT. I mean, just think about it. NXT took their spot. So they were the NXT at the time. They did have the New Talent Initiative, so they had all those kinds of guys. They had, remember the New Breed, right? With
yeah.
Marcus Corvon and Kevin
Pounce.
Thorne, the Pounce.
I like them.
Matt Striker, Elijah Burke versus the ECW originals. Tommy Dreamer was ECW champion. Finally,
Yeah, he never was champion.
Not the original, but no. Tommy Dreamer, he had a
That's
little
crazy.
storyline.
That big black ECW belt. I hated that shit. That shit was
That
terrible.
was because Mark Henry was too fucking big to have the regular.
Mark Henry got his first championship run.
Matt Hardy.
Matt Hardy
Matt
with the
Hardy.
belt. Yeah, I remember that
They
one.
got the big aluminum can belt.
Remember that? We was watching at your crib, Abel. The gauntlet match and the championship scramble.
Yes.
Brian Kendrick, I'm the man with the master plan. He had the title at one point.
Yeah,
Oh, that's why that match was hot. For a moment in time, Brian Kendrick was the WWE champion.
Oh Lord.
But yeah, Brian Kendrick was with Ziegler Jackson. They were a pair. They were a duo for a time. So, ECW and Sci-Fi had a big legacy, but it did not start off well. It was not going to be an equivalent brand to Raw or SmackDown.
No.
They let that known early on.
Yeah.
And they even had a couple different theme songs, and one of them, I think they stuck to the one with like Marilyn Manson doing it.
The bodies.
No, that was SmackDown.
Well, they had the Bodies was also on ECW.
Really?
I think they took it away after the Benoit incident.
Yeah, boy.
But yeah, CM Punk is supposed to face Benoit at Night of Champions 2007. And, well, that never happened.
All right, so after the one night stand shows, where was the Blue Meanie? I know he had his little feud with JBL. He punched him and.
Well, I know they settled the lawsuit eventually, but
Oh, was it a lawsuit?
Yeah.
yeah.
I didn't know that.
Thanks a lot, Blue Meanie and JBL, you damn bully.
Yeah, JBL had a lot of issues backstage with a couple guys. Some
All right.
guys still like,
He's
he's a cool dude, but it's like,
He's a bully.
yeah.
That's all.
All right, so was Jerry Lynn? Was he in TNA at this time?
Yeah.
He
Yeah.
was in TNA. Okay. Let's see. Where was Scorpio? Flash Funk.
I think he made a quick appearance and then
Was he back in
out of-
TNA? How come they could have used him to develop some new characters?
I don't think he wanted to develop anybody.
I would say he's past his prime, but Tommy Dreamer was in there.
Exactly. Shane Douglas. I know they had a bad reputation with
Yeah.
him. That he want to do that. I'm just trying to think. I'm looking at who else I could possibly think of. They could have brought back Terry Funk one more time.
Nah.
Get TV ratings.
Let that man relax and enjoy fucking Double Cross Ranch. He is now. That's a different cross, though. He crossed that
Let's
bridge.
see. Who else we got that could have been there? Where was Al Snow? Was he done?
Al Snow might have been doing OVW,
He could have been there.
if I remember.
Even if you're naming these ECW originals, I don't think they're game changers
No,
necessarily.
I'm just
so.
saying, you got to have that
Stevie Richards?
No, they
notoriety
listen,
up there.
The ECW, the WWE ECW, they had a plan. They had Paul Heyman was on it. He had guys in the up and coming. He had Shannon Moore of all
Yeah.
people, and he did his promos, and they're hyping him week by week, and all of a sudden CM Punk comes out of nowhere. Yeah, okay.
And he cut him off. No, I'm just
He did, just like you did right now. Shannon Moore, the Prince of Punk, he was doing regular promos for weeks on the show. Then he did this one weird one. He was like hugging himself like this. He said, "I'm the Prince of Punk, and I'm bringing sexy back." And then Punk comes into the frame. Punk's like, "You're a poser," and he slaps him.
Ooh.
And that ends the push of Shannon Moore in ECW as the Prince of Punk. He would stick around for a long time, but he had his spiked up hair. I don't know if you remember that.
I remember that.
He had the spiked up hair, and then they didn't push him, right? So all of a sudden he's on SmackDown or ECW, and his hair is just like relaxed. He's like, "I didn't bother to gel it today." Talk about a guy who gave up on life, But then he found a second life in TNA with Jesse Neal. So they were
What the Ink?
tattooed, yeah, ink.
That's what it was called? Yeah,
Tattooed
so I remember.
Attitude. Under my skin.
Oh,
Under my
Lord.
skin.
Jesus.
But so no, this version of ECW, they didn't need the Al Snow and Shane Douglas. They didn't need even whether they were available or not. They didn't need them. So
Did you need the hardcore? You need to bring that back. Give the fans a little bit what they want.
oh my! So this was in the Dunkin' Donuts Center in Providence, and we're sitting there. It's a SmackDown taping, so they had the Velocity, SmackDown, and then ECW live, right? So in the crowd, one guy's saying, "Oh man, you know what's coming up after this? It's that ECW. It's that hardcore wrestling stuff. You know, that's gonna be cool." And they have no idea what's to come. Then they watch and they're like, "Ain't shit happening. All right, let's go."
Nope.
That's what it was.
Yeah, once WWE got a hand, Vince especially, he's like, I'm not letting this bullshit happen again.
They had Extreme Expose.
Yep.
Kelly and Layla L and
that was extreme.
and Brooke Tessmacher
Yeah, that was extreme.
with her botched implants. Her implants were like Perry Saturn's eyes.
Oh, there you go. Should have brought back New Jack.
Oh Jesus,
And
no.
Mustafa, the gangsters.
Ooh-wee. That'd have been a problem.
Mustafa Saeed.
Ay.
I cut you.
You can cut somebody, all right.
Oh Lord.
Yeah.
All right, let's cheer up a little bit. Let's talk about some old ECW.
I'm happy.
We don't know when we're gonna talk about ECW again. What was your favorite ECW character or wrestler growing up, John? Old school, the OGs.
Well, I'm pretty sure you had to been like me, where there was no ECW here in Connecticut. Okay, the only thing you knew about ECW was from the magazines.
All right, so
PWI.
question. So when did you get first exposed to ECW?
When a guy flashed me at the news rack. No. The first exposure I had to ECW, because all you did was hear about it, right? So the first thing was actually the speaking of the news rack. It was barely legal in 1997, the first ECW pay-per-view. It was on VHS. I bought that thing. I popped it in. I made the popcorn. I took off my shirt. And I watched Barely Legal 98. Was it?
Seven.
97? And I didn't like it. I didn't like it. I was like, all I read was how cool ECW was and this, that. And so I watched it. I'm like, this show sucks. Like, I didn't like it. They're like, here's RVD. Here's the hot star. And it's kind of like, they didn't even book me on this show. He's facing Lance Storm. And Lance Storm, I mean, I love those two now. But at the time, like, Lance Storm hit him with a weak-ass chair shot. RVD didn't look right. He didn't wear the tights under his tights. He looked weird. And like that. And then the main event, Terry Funk was in it.
The triple threat match.
And Sabu and Taz was supposed to be a big thing on the time. And I'm like, what the, I didn't like it. I didn't get it. It wasn't for me. Even though I liked the legend more than I liked the product. But I did not watch any of the stuff as it happened. I only read about it. And, aside from that Barely Legal 97 VHS, the only other connection I had to it was buying on eBay the best of Taz and the best of Rob Van Dam only after they joined the Alliance during that storyline. So I don't really have any ECW memories other than that.
Abel, what about you?
Favorite wrestler from ECW back in the day, being a Brooklyn kid, Taz, baby. Yeah, it was that match he had with Bam Bam. I forget what pay-per-view it was, where they fell through the entrance ramp.
I think it was November to Remember, right?
It might have been, but I think my cousin, it's funny because he goes by a silly-ass fucking name, Ricky Florida, now. I'm gonna mention you one day, but now you on the pod, bro. Yeah, Rick told me about it. He was like, yo, check this ECW shit out. I know you like wrestling like I do. And sure enough, that pay-per-view comes up. And I'm looking at this match. I'm like, all right, hardcore, doing the thing. Fucking Bam Bam. I know Bam Bam from WWE. And Taz got him in a chokehold. And he's running back to the ring. I'm like, all right, what's going to happen? And then, boom, right through the freaking entrance ramp. I'm like, holy shit, I'm hooked. I'm done. I can't remember what year that was, but I try to watch ECWs whenever I could. I was up at like 2, 3 o'clock in the morning. we did have the black box back in the day. So I was watching some stuff I wasn't supposed to.
Some of it barely legal.
It was barely legal.
You like to live dangerously, I see.
But yeah, good times, man. Taz is definitely that dude that got me involved. So thank you, Taz. Appreciate you everything you've done and continue to do.
And Dom?
Me, I remember flipping through the channels. I believe it was like a Friday night, and I seen on TNN ECW. What do you think I was going to say? It was ECW. It was, the lights were bright. The ring was, the canvas was like a bright blue. And I watched it and I wasn't impressed. I didn't enjoy it. Why? Because at the time I was all about WCW and WWFE. That's what it was all about. So I didn't know who was who. Like at the time, like I seen like RVD. Yeah, he was cool. He was impressive. Yeah. But at that time, the Dudleys, they stuck out to me. Like, all right, you got this white dude talking all this shit. You got the black dude right here with the glasses on and the overalls on. Like, all right, it was interesting. And then they put people through the tables. It caught my attention, but it was nothing. Like, I respect ECW more as I got older and started branching off, watching other things and following other people's careers. But at that time, it wasn't for me. That was a little too much for, for my taste.
You didn't like the quintessential stud muffin?
Yeah, 'cause all of his jokes went over our heads.
Yeah,
I did.
Going to Catholic school, I didn't know what none of that shit meant.
Listen, I did not understand what Al Snow and Head meant.
I didn't know.
Me neither.
Till now. Ooh. Yesterday, actually.
Almost got in trouble for that.
I didn't know. What's everybody want? Head.
Yeah. I'm Al Snow with stick.
Shoot. Wrestling used to get me in trouble.
Big time.
What does sucking mean? I don't know. It's weird.
For real, I ain't know none of that shit, man. It used to get me in trouble all the time.
All the time.
Thank you, professional wrestling.
No, thank you, ECW.
Yeah, thank you.
All right.
That's what helped us.
All right.
Shoot.
Well, folks, that is ECW December to Dismember 2006 and a little bit more about ECW memories. And kind of like the show, the pay-per-view that we're talking about itself, not many terribly great things to say about ECW. But we do appreciate what they did for wrestling history, and we do respect it and appreciate it more as adults. So that is the real legacy of ECW.
Yes.
You're a product of your time, and we remember you fondly.
Also want to thank the Rhode Island Broadcasting Network, the Rhode Island Broadcasting, one more time, the Rhode Island Broadcasting Network for having us on.
Thank you very much.
Can't forget about you guys.
Next week, we're going to talk about Armageddon
2002.
Dos.
Right.
That was John's pick.
I'm picking all the shows, baby. I got influence all over the place, daddy.
I don't like how you have all this influence. Who you talking to? Who you in the booking show, baby?
Well, April 2024 is a new year.
That's it.
And speaking of New Year's, who knows? We'll see you next time. Boom.